Hi, and welcome to Freaky to the Core. This is Princess Twink,
Your boy 1D.
and we're here to have good conversations about real situations. So let's get started. What you been doing today, other than running around?
That's about it. Just getting situated. Got a baby got a grandchild here in this world now. So, different things and bigger things and better things. That's all.
Bigger and better. That's what we like to hear. Bigger and better. Anyways, so we decided to start this off by telling a little bit about of ourselves. And so I'm gonna go, and then you guys will hear about 1D. I am Princess Twinkle Bottom. I run a website called Dreams of a Housewife. Usually it's naughty stories, and it has developed into a little something different where people started to ask me a lot of questions regarding relationships, which led us to this podcast. Go ahead.
My name is Thad, aka 1D. As you know, that I am a father of a bunch of kids. I'm a railroad worker, hard worker, and I love talking about relationships.
So we came together to do this, and we started on Live Me and asked a bunch of people to ask us a bunch of questions, and I narrowed them down to about the top 20, which in this particular segment we're going to talk about three. Um, so we have three specific questions that were asked by multiple viewers. The first one went, what does a healthy relationship look like? And I also have people talking on the live. So, um, to me, a healthy relationship is a friendship. What about you?
You got to me, you got to get to know a person. It's a communication thing. You can be friends all day long, but you still have to can a friend can be honest
Yep.
and a friend can be dishonest. So, really you just have to take that chance and go with it. But you'll know a person. But it's the best way to know a person is to really get to know them. Like, go out for if you gotta meet somewhere for coffee or something, you got to know someone. You got to talk. Just talk. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite foods? What do you like? Do you like rain? Do you like snow? Do you like cold? Do you like
Do you
hot
like
air?
the sound of someone snoring?
Yeah, because you can get into
Do
a
you like
relationship. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
People don't understand, like, the sound of someone brushing their teeth might piss you off. That might
It's
be the one thing that's like, I'm done.
or another thing, you might not like the way a person comb their hair.
Yes, or how they style their hair,
There you go.
the type of gum they chew. There's so many things that could just turn off a relationship. In all honesty, I don't think in reality there's not a perfect relationship. There's always going to be something that someone doesn't like about that relationship.
Always, always.
Unfortunately, there is no perfect. When people say, "Oh, you're in a perfect relationship," it's a lie, because behind closed doors, we all know there is something going on. Someone is not liking something about the relationship. You're going to complain to somebody no matter what you do.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. But another thing, what I do notice, what I've seen, like I have a lot of friends. They ask me, man, how could you do it? I was married 17 years, and I didn't have my mom and my dad tell me, coach me through anything about relationships. Only thing your mom will tell your dad tell you always open the door for a lady, you pull the chair for her under the table when she sit down for dinner, or things like that. But far as coaching, like the main thing that I know, you have to have God in your life.
Yes.
You have to
Yeah.
know your You have to know yourself first before you can just jump out in a relationship or jump out in this world because you're dragging someone else into your life. You're dragging
Not
someone,
only that, families. You're pulling families together.
all of that. It takes
Yeah.
all of
It takes a lot to make a healthy relationship. In all honesty, there is no, I just point that out. There's no perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Life is not perfect. You don't have perfect times. You don't have perfect environments. You don't have a perfect job. You have stuff that leads you to a little bit of perfection. You don't have to be perfect. You have to find perfection within the flaws. And that's the big thing, finding perfection within everybody's flaws, whether they're your flaws or his flaws or anybody's flaws. You got to find that perfection, find what you love about it.
because nowadays love's just a four-letter word, man. And when they say that, it's love's just a word. In love is a big word. And some people don't understand that love and in love is two different things.
Very different thing. Like, I have love for Deep, but I'm not in love with him. I'm in love with my husband, but I have love for him. I agree with him on certain things. We found a friendship within each other, you know? But at the end of the day, you know, I'm in love with my husband.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you for saying it. I feel the same way about you. And that's how we did. We started off a friendship. We started
Right.
talking. We started getting to know each other. Hey, I know what you cook. I know what you gonna cook. I know what be on your menu now. It's just
Right.
it's things. You know what I'm saying? We know about each other, and that's a big thing. That's a real good thing.
And it
Friendship.
is. And it's very important. And I think another thing about a healthy relationship is not to look for negative things. Because if you look for negative things, you're going to find them no matter
Yep,
what.
that's
If you
true.
look for negative or disturbing things, you're going to find them. You're always going to find something negative about a person. Doesn't matter who they are, whether it's a friendship. People get on my nerves every day, but we got to keep on pushing. You
We
can't
always
let
gonna
that
have a flaw.
negative affect your life.
They're gonna always find a flaw in someone. You're gonna always.
Right,
It's gonna
right.
always be something. It's no one. That's again. Like she was like Twinkle
Nobody's
saying, no
perfect.
one's perfect, man. No one's perfect. And you gotta understand, you gotta learn, and guys, we got to understand, you have to respect the ways of a woman. You have to respect, now this is what I'm saying. You have to respect the ways of a woman. You have to respect the ways of a girl. You have to respect the ways of a young lady. That's the way I put it. That's the way you have to respect it.
And it's the same for a woman. You know, if you don't respect the person you're with, you're not gonna do right. Why do
Right.
right when you don't have to?
But you
When
got
it's not
independent women.
necessary.
But you got independent women, you got dependable women. You got independable women, you got dependable women. What I'm saying is because some women are stronger than men. I've met women that are very powerful and stronger than men. And women can be overpowering to where that man can bag up and be really scared.
He
And
feels
that's
like
how
less
it
of a
can be.
man.
Yeah, he can feel less of a man, and you don't want a guy feeling that way.
Right.
And
And that's
same
another thing.
and
That
same
goes into, you know, how you said you had to have God in your relationship. Okay,
yeah.
so if you want to go into the Bible, you want to think about this, you're supposed to be a submissive wife. You're supposed to be basically a submissive wife in the Bible. So nowadays it's hard to be that because everybody has to work together. Everybody has to do everything together. We all work together to pay bills. We pull together to make sure stuff is done at the house. You know, you don't really have too many housewife figures in now day and age, you know. You can't be that person because it costs too much, you know. So nowadays, you have to remember that even though you are a strong woman, even though you do, you know, pay bills, even though you do, you know, have that mentality about you with your husband, you still should be a submissive wife. You should be that caring individual that he needs in his life because every man needs that.
Yeah, you got to have a religion, man, going into a relationship. I mean, you got to know God. You have to know some kind of religion. You have to know the rules. You have to know the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not lie. All that.
But
You know that.
you got to take it a step deeper, and you actually have to apply that to your relationship. If you take those steps, if you realize it, if you guys go to my website, you see it's a very submissive website. You know why? Because I am a submissive wife. But at the same time, I pay bills, I make money, I do this, I do a lot of things, you know. But at the same time, when it comes to my husband, I don't think of myself lower than him, but I think of myself as his person, and I have to be that person for him.
You his other half. You think of yourself as his other half.
Right.
Y'all are one. The Bible says when you leave your family and you go out to another one, y'all become as a one.
Y'all become one.
You're not a two, you're a one. That's
Right.
the way it goes. Everything you share. You share everything. God doesn't like divorces. He's not good for breakups. That's why when he says, if you look at everything when you have kids, they say that's a blessing. It's a
Right.
reward. That is something big. When you hear something like that, you don't never say, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good." I don't look at myself being good. I want to be well. So I look at myself as I'm well, because with me having God in my life is it's more than having gold. It's more than having wisdom. I feel like I have superpowers. When I have God in my life, to me, I can talk to him because I know he's going to listen. And I
Right.
go to him, especially for relationship wise, especially when me and Bay mad. Things that don't go right can cause conflicts in your relationship. Even your kids can cause conflicts in your relationship.
Right.
Even step kids can cause in relationship, especially when you're raising someone else's kids and they don't know you like that. And
Right.
it's a big thing. It's hard, but as you go down the line, you have to talk to God. I'm not making you guys do it, but if you can take your time out, do anything else. If you can't give God 5 minutes of your time, that's all you got to do. And just ask him and see what it'll take you. Just anybody on live, please just try. Just take 5 minutes. Go somewhere quiet. If you got to go in your car, if you got to go in your closet, just go somewhere for 5 minutes. Close your eyes and just look up and just talk to God for
Yep.
5 minutes. And just try it. Try it. Trust me. I do it every day. I do it every day for 10 minutes. Every day I take time out in the mornings and at night and I talk to God because he wakes me up. So if he wakes me up, he has a plan for me today. So what's my plan? You have to have a plan. That's just when you build something. When you build a house from ground up, what do you have? You got blueprints. You got a plan. The Bible
And
says
it
you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan to
and it
start something.
goes with that, because you one of those things is, once again, if you do not know yourself, then you can't be in a good relationship. You're not going to think of it as a us, you're going to think of it as a me. This is
Now,
me and mine instead of ours.
you can tell them the real truth, Twink. The real saying is if you don't know yourself, you don't know a damn thing.
That's true.
I mean, if you
That is
don't know
true.
yourself, you don't know a damn thing. So that means you need to evaluate yourself. The man in the mirror. You need to look at yourself.
And take the time and realize who you want to be in your life, because everybody's life is different.
Everybody's life is different. That's true.
So we're going to move on to the second question. The second one was, has social media and dating apps ruined relationships?
Oh man.
So I'm going to start this one off. They only ruin what you allow them to ruin, in all honesty. If you're looking for that, you're going to find it. If you are out there looking for popularity, you're going to find it, because it's easy to get it on social media nowadays, especially for a woman, or a man. All you got to do is smile a little bit, and people are going to be there to see it, you know? Everything is out there nowadays. So it doesn't matter what you do. But if you allow it to ruin your relationship, that's when it ruins your relationship.
True that. True that. And even if you're looking, whatever you go looking for, that's what you're gonna find.
Right.
Because media, social media, man, you can be what you want. So ladies and fellas, be careful because you can go in there with a guy, he can be flashing a whole bunch of stuff and it ain't even his.
That's right.
And
And then
again, from the first situation, excuse me, Twink, I'm sorry. For the first
go ahead.
situation is from the first one, like what Twink was telling y'all from the first subject, not to jump off, get to know that person. Just like you got to get to know that website. Get to know that person. Get to know that person. Talk to them. Hey, you want to meet me for somewhere? Even if you got to go meet somewhere to go to PetSmart, just meet somewhere. You just got to meet me at a bus stop. We can sit down at a bus stop and talk. You don't have to buy me drink. You have to buy me food. I don't have to buy. Let's just have somewhere to sit down and talk. I got to know. No, let's know who we are. Let's get to know one another. Know what you're dealing with. When you order food, you want to know. You know that food. When you buy food to cook certain ingredients, you have to look for those ingredients. For you to
Yeah.
make that food good, you're gonna have to get the best ingredients. So it's
And
just
that goes along with, when, we're talking about social media and dating. So let me explain this to you. A lot of people, I've realized now, after being on this for a little while and talking to multiple people, a lot of married people are on here, and it's not because they're looking for someone else. It's more or less that they're looking either for advice or they're looking for someone to talk to because they're lonely, you know?
true.
And even though you're in a marriage, sometimes you feel alone because you don't have that connection with your friends like you used to. You don't have that I can just run here and do this if I want to, you know? You feel comfortable sitting at home in your PJs and being left alone. But people don't realize that people get lonely that way, especially when you're a very social person. So you could be in a relationship and be a social person, but you have to use your sociality, going out there on these websites, going out there and doing these videos and stuff like that. You have to know how to use it to your advantage, not to your downfall.
But it's very hard. It's very hard to when you get on this website. You got to be very careful because,
You have to be
uh,
strong about it.
yeah, because again, you got to go with a straight mind, knowing you're gonna have catfishes. You're gonna have your good days and your bad days on these websites. You're gonna have them on these dating apps and everything. But another thing, you know what you could do? Instead of using dating apps, won't you try to go to church or won't you try to go somewhere else or go to the park or take a walk? Again, talk to God and ask God, hey, let me take a walk. God, please bring me somebody that can just show me a good time, show me a real good relationship. Ask God to show you something. Instead of y'all going on these websites, ask God to show you something different. I think it'd be a neat thing. You got eHarmony, but at the same time, you still get pedophile, crazy people. So, you got to evaluate yourselves, man. These dating websites, there's something else. You just got to be careful about these websites, and they do destroy relationships.
Right.
They do.
And more of it is because people don't care. They don't care if you're in a relationship. All they see is your face. All they see is your smile. They don't care. They see the tattoos. They see the that you look nice. That's what they see. But it's all about what you put out there. So if you respond to those people, if you entertain that, that's on you. You're allowing that to bother your life. There's a way to talk to people and still say, hey, I am in a relationship. I can be a friend. I can be a great friend. I can talk, but I cannot go no further than that. I have to know where my stop is. You have to know where your stop is.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not easy, especially, I'm just going to say this for women. It's not easy because every woman is looking for attention in a different way. Whether it's in a good way or a bad way, you're looking for attention because you never feel like you have enough attention from the world. Nobody shows you the type of love that you need. Nobody, even in a relationship, you always feel that way. It's not necessarily true because you could be getting all the attention from your in the world from your spouse, but at the same time you don't, that doesn't click in your head. So in your head you still have to go out and find other attention.
That's
And
why when I be on them websites, I try to keep it real. I keep it real. I don't try. I keep it real because I know they're no different from what you go on and you see in this world. So, you got to go in real. You go in being yourself and being real, let them know who you really are. And you're going to bring out the real out of them. Or you're going to bring
right.
out the fake. And you'll know. You'll know a person daily as you talk to them. And you'll know who's real. You know who's fake.
Yeah.
Like I said, you just got to be careful on these websites, but you will know. Ladies, you'll know. And fellas, you'll know.
Right.
You will know. And then go again. Like Twink say, whatever you go on there looking for, that's what you're gonna find.
And not everything that's pretty is gold, you know? Y'all got to remember that. Just because it's shining doesn't mean you need to touch it.
You gotta
Just
get your
because it,
minds out the gutter. Get your minds out
right.
the
And find happiness in your relationship, because here's the thing, if you don't have happiness, you're always going to look for something better. If you don't have that strength in your relationship, you should not be doing some of the stuff you are, because you're causing yourself to disconnect from your relationship when you do that. You can't allow things to disconnect you from your relationship. So, we are going to move on to the next question. And this one was actually, this one kind of hit me hard because I had a lot of people ask this, and you're going to be surprised. Um, it was kind of shocking how many people asked this. And this goes again to the social media side of it, that you meet people through social media. But at the same time, it goes back into, what does a healthy relationship look like? So the last question is my partner overreacting to my friendship with the opposite sex? So if your partner is going crazy about it, then you guys don't have that trust that you need. Because here's the thing: when you're in a relationship, when y'all trust each other, it shouldn't matter who you talk to, as long as you're talking the correct way. There might be a need to sit down and be like, okay, why don't you like this person? What's going on? And if it's, they're threatened by this person, then that's when you have to step in and be like, hey, nobody's threatening us. That's when you have to step in and be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't talk to this person.
true. That's true.
And that's
I
when you have to be
always
the
had
bigger
those
person.
problems. I always had those problems and those issues. That's why I don't do the social media. That's why I don't do it too much. And that's why with the opposite sex, I used to be that type of guy. Because if you're not used to it and it constantly just go on and on, that's the difference. Because some guys on there and that y'all talk to doesn't know how to act. And I
Right.
know y'all know what I'm saying. And some of those guys' mouths can be very abusive, just like a lady's mouth. A female's mouth can be very abusive. Again, the tongue is a powerful weapon. We can be
Right.
very abusive when we say certain things. So yeah, you have to be very careful on this website. And some people do get, that's how we act. We get jealous. We get mad.
Right. But that goes back to knowing your relationship, knowing the person you're with. If you know who you're with, then you're not gonna have that. My husband has female friends. I don't think nothing of it. I just say, oh, they're his friends. Those are his friends. I'm not in the friendship, and that's perfectly fine. When his phone rings, I don't look at it. I'm not. That goes back into not looking for stuff wrong. Because if you look for it, you're gonna find it. Because you can find something wrong in a hello.
Yeah.
Someone said hello. Oh, you know, who's this? You can't think of it that way, because if you think of it that way, you're always going to see it that way.
Yeah. I
You
like the way
can't
you said that.
think negatively about your relationship.
Nope, you can't. You can't. And I like this one. See, this one here was for you. And I want everybody to understand it. That's why I wanted Twink to tell y'all about this one because I'm a guy, so it's really kind of hard for me to say anything on this subject because I used to do it. When I get on websites, I know what I was getting on the website looking for. I
Right.
was getting on there looking for what I wanted: sex,
Right.
excitement. I wanted excitement, money, sex, and excitement. So I wasn't going there look. Oh, let me be a friend with her. Let me. No, I wasn't going there looking for that. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I went
Yeah.
on there for the
When
opposite.
it comes to that, I write sexual stories, I write sexual fantasies, and I lived through my husband with these because here was the thing: before I started writing these, we decided, okay, we've been in a relationship for 5 years. It was time to kind of spice it up. So what I started doing is I started searching social media for different ways to spice up my relationship. And when I did that, I realized that that you could very easily be captivated by somebody on social media. You could take it there if you're not careful. And so so I started realizing very quickly that you can't be like that. You have to know who you're talking to. If you're trying to find something, find a group. There's groups out there that will help you. There's groups out there that will expand your mind. There's learning groups. There's Discord chats. There's online people who are willing to help you with that part of your relationship if that's something you're looking for. You can get on my website. You can ask me 10,000 questions. I will answer them because that's what I do every day. I check stuff. And if you're looking for help in your relationship, there's always ways to find them. So you guys
Amen.
remember that.
Amen, sister. Y'all heard that from my sister Twink? And y'all go get that website, but she's telling y'all the truth. That's real. That's real. Because you see, I didn't say, nah, Twink, you wrong, you wrong. Because fellas, I'm gonna ride for the fellas, I'm gonna ride for the women. But at the same time, I'm gonna ride for when you're right and when you're wrong, you're wrong. But
Right.
the way she put it, I couldn't have said it no better. This we want you guys to know this is our first time doing this podcast, and we appreciate everyone for coming out. And we're enjoying this, and we just want everyone to enjoy this too. We giving our pointers on what we go through, our daily thing we go through with our relationships, with my kids, even her little dogs, her puppies, her babies. So we all go through. We just let you know we go through that even with coworkers,
Right.
parents, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, friends at church, cousins, aunties. We go. This is our daily struggle. We gonna give you the real, what we go through every day.
And we will get a little more deeper into the sexual aspect of a relationship. It's just going to take more time. We actually wanted to go off some of the questions that I was asked. Um, and if you guys don't know, like I said, we live stream it on Live Me. You're more than welcome to join in there. You can join into a chat. We have a chat on Skype. We also have a SoundCloud. We will be moving to Spotify soon. So, anytime you guys have any questions, if you need answers, we are here. We are willing to do that. And we hope you guys have a wonderful day.
A beautiful day, and God bless you. And tell that person that you with. If you love them, tell them that you love them. Always
Tell
do
them
that.
that you
Look up
love
and
them.
tell them that
God,
she's
tell them that
beautiful.
you love them.
Fellas, tell that lady, man, hey, baby, you're beautiful. Even if she got her hair all over her head and you just sitting there, look at that woman in the eyes, man, tell her, baby, you beautiful and I love her. And ladies, look at that man, tell that man you love him. Tell him, y'all do that. Make
And
that
make
thing
sure,
reciprocal.
at
Make
the end
that
of the
effort.
day, make sure you're making that person happy while you're making yourself happy.
Yeah, for real. Do that. A
We'll
little
be
super
back
chat.
soon.
All right, guys.